Welcome to my maple leaf coaster crochet tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make these cute little speckled fall decorative coasters. So you're going to need a crochet hook. I'm using an 8mm hook here, scissors, and a yarn needle. Yarn, I chose two autumnal colors. I went with cotton because heat and acrylic do not go well together, and I think the cotton just gives it a smooth, refined look and works the best for this kind of project. I used a brown on the bottom of the one I'm doing in this video, but in another one you can see I used green as the base, and then a smaller yarn to add that speckly vibe. So I used a size 4 yarn for the brown, and then the other yarn was a size 3, and I just worked with them together. To start, I'm doing a magic circle, which is when you wrap the yarn around your hand like so, secure it, go in and pull that piece out. It should look like this, and then you're going to want to secure it by chaining 1. So once we've chained 1, we're going to go into the circle with 12 single crochets. So that counts as the first one. You can see there's that stitch right there, and we're just going to go in with 11 more. And now we can count 12 single crochets on here. We're going to take that little end of the circle there and tug on it and tighten it until everything is squished up together. And then we're going to go into the first stitch with a slip stitch. So that is just going in, yarning over, pulling through and pulling through without a second yarn over. It's a bit tricky when you're working with 2 yarns together with crochet, but make sure that you're always getting into the right stitches and you're not missing any of the yarn or anything like that. Then I'm just going to chain 2 so I can start with some double crochets, and then I'm going to go into the same space with a double crochet. And then I'm going to do 2 double crochets in every stitch along the circle. This is going to increase and make sure that the circle stays the right shape. And once you get to the last one, we're just going to slip stitch just like we did with the first round, and then we're going to start working on the petals. So now we've made it to the last stitch, so we're doing our 2 double crochets into the last stitch, and then we're going to slip stitch into that stitch up there. So boom, we go in there and then we slip stitch, and now we have this center round, and now we're going to start building the this is the circle here. We're going to start building these little petals around. So there's going to be 5 in total. And once you know how to do the first one, you're going to know how to do all of them. So I'm just going to run through a couple of them, and then you can do the other 3, and then we'll come back to meet up and do the stem together. So now I've just slip stitched in. I'm going to go into the next stitch with 2 double crochets. And there's going to be a lot of stitches going into this stitch. So first we start with 2 double crochets, and then we're going to do 2 treble crochets or triple crochets into the same stitch. So the triple crochet is wrapping your yarn around your hook twice and doing the whole yarn over pull through process thrice. So we're going to yarn over, go in, yarn over, yarn over. So that's 2 double crochets, 2 triple crochets, and now we're going to make that little pointy tip on the edge of each of the leaves. So to do that, we're going to go and chain 3, and then you find this little piece here where there's like 2 things that almost look like a stitch. You're going to go in there with a slip stitch, and this is just going to make that little tip look really nice. And then we're just going to continue. We're going to do another triple crochet into the same stitch. We're not moving stitches here. And another triple crochet, and then 2 double crochets, so it mirrors the first part. So now we're done with the second triple crochet. We're going to do our double and our last double. And then here what we're going to do is, this is a whole lot going on, so make sure you find the next stitch, which will probably just be hidden. So you have to tuck it away and figure out where that is. That's the next stitch. We're going to skip that, and we're going to go into the one after that with a slip stitch. And there you've completed your first petal. So to do the next one, we're going to do the exact same thing, except to start, we're going to start double crocheting into the stitch after the next stitch. So we're skipping over this stitch, going to the next one, starting with our double crochets, 2 of them, and then our 2 triple crochets, and then the tip part, 2 triple crochets, 2 double crochets again. So again, here we're on our second triple crochet, and then chain 3. See, I'm struggling a little bit with the double yarns. Going here to this little space with a slip stitch and 2 triple crochets. Double crochets, and now again we find that next stitch, we skip it, and we go to the next one with a slip stitch. So you're going to just repeat that. Skip a stitch, double crochet, triple crochet, tip, chain 3, slip stitch, and then triple crochet, double crochet, slip stitch into the next stitch over. We're going to keep doing that until you have 5 of these little triangle petal things. And then we're going to have a big space at the bottom, and I'm going to show you how to do the little stem there. So now that I have all my spikes here, I'm going to slip stitch into the next 2 stitches in the circle, and I'm going to chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and skipping the chain closest to the hook, I'm going to go in with a single crochet along that chain. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4 single crochets. And then I'm going to slip stitch into the next stitch. So not the one I've just slip stitched into, but the next one. And then I'm going to slip stitch twice again, and that will be the end. So after this, I'm going to snip off my yarn and fasten it off, and it should look something like this. So now the last step is to weave in the ends, and we only have 2 ends to weave in, so this is going to be pretty chill, pretty simple. I'm just going to go into the circle a few times. It's not something you're wearing, and the bottom will always stay on the bottom, like it'll face down on the table, so it's not super important that you weave it in a ton, but if you want it to last, if you want to be able to wash it thoroughly, it's good to make sure you've weaved everything in as much as you can. So I'm just going in here, and I'm going to go around the circle a little bit. And once you've snipped them off, you're done, and you can enjoy this coaster. I used an 8mm hook for this particular one, and it made a really good big size for any big mugs or beverages, but I also made these ones with a 6.5mm hook and the same yarn, so you can really see how that changes the size and shape of the project. So I would recommend either of those. 7mm would work, of course, as well, but the variation is really interesting to play with here, as well as the variations in colors, so I made my set a little bit different each one. So yeah, I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy this. It's really good for Thanksgiving table, or just I have them in my room just for fun as coasters for my tea and my drinks. And yeah, if you make one, don't forget to tag me on Instagram, don't forget to follow me there as well, and on TikTok for updates on new tutorials. And I hope you enjoyed this video.